there, I'm going to show you how to use a magnetic hoop with the edge-to-edge quilting. So as you can see, there is quilting right here. I have already quilted the first column, and by the way, I'm using seasonal 2 placemat. So I went ahead and did the first row, the first column with the regular hoop and the template, and now I'm just going to connect everything with the magnetic hoop. So the first thing I do is I go ahead and bring the design in, and I make sure that the start point is where it needs to be. So right here is my start point, is over on the left, and I put the bottom portion always stays in the hoop, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to move here in a minute. But I just want to show you that once I get it in there, my needle is pretty much over my start point, and then I have these blue lines that I drew on my placemats that I'm going to use to help line things up. So this blue line is on the 0. This one here is down a little bit, so I can just tug the fabric just a little bit to bring it up. Then the other thing I do is I have another blue line. I look for lines all the time, and I apologize that I did gingham because the gingham is like all over the place wavy. But this blue line is at the 2.5. You can see there's a ruler right here, so it's at the 2.5. And I just want to make sure that the line, it goes all the way to the back. I want to make sure it's also at the 2.5 in the back, and it is. And then I love these little rulers because sometimes I'll just put the ruler on the 2.5, and I'll just make sure that my line is more or less straight. If it's not, I can kind of tug and pull gently on either side until it's perfectly straight. Then I just move my needle so that it is, and I'm going to zoom in for this, and I'm going to bring the camera. I'm doing this standing up, so it's a little bit more difficult for me, but that's okay. You guys are worth it. And I'm going to bring my needle down, and you can see I'm just off a hair. So what I want to do is I want to raise my needle all the way back up, otherwise my machine is going to beep at me. And I'm going to move the needle using my positioning so that it's over. I'm going to test it again. I'm about a stitch in. I want to be kissing like this. My end point and my start point, I want them kissing, not a stitch in. So let me bring that back up, and I'm just going to go back out a little bit more. We got to thank Lexi, our German Shepherd. She's being very quiet right now for this video. Okay, then I'm just going to go ahead and stitch this design out. I always like to bring up my bobbin too, so I'm going to do that. There we go. Get the long tails, hold them gently, and start the machine. And we'll put some nice music on while this is stitching out. Okay, now I want to show you how easy it is to move the project. So I'm going to go ahead and start my design again so I have my needle exactly where I wanted. You probably saw it shifted over. I'm going to lift up the top portion of the hoop. I'm going to slide down to my next end point, which is right there. I'm going to lay the hoop over. Remember, I'm standing at a really weird angle. I've got some pins here I need to get rid of. And then I'm just going to line up those corners, straighten out my quilt, And then again, I'm going to make sure that that blue line is lined up where I want it to be so everything is nice and straight. And that is literally why I love magnetic hoops. Say bye-bye.